Let's take a look at a few tools for testing the outline structure of a web page. We'll use the scissors page for these tests as it has a known structure. So I have the scissors page opened up here in my browser, and I've got it opened up from the Chapter 13 folder in the exercise files, and I've also loaded it up in my editor here. And coming back to the browser, I have also loaded this outliner page. And what this does is it'll take any HTML source, either from a hard disk or from a URL, or you can paste it in here, and it will give you an outline. So I'm just going to paste it in here from my text editor. So I'm going to select all and copy and select all and paste. And I'm going to click outline this. And now we have the outline that we expect from this page. You notice at the top is scissors. And if you go to our source here, you see right here in header, the first H1 it sees in this H group is scissors. So that's the top. It's got this untitled section, and that's our nav section here, which does not have a title. It has the story of scissors, and that's right here in our first article, the story of scissors. And then it has about these scissors. And if we go down after this article, we see this aside, and it has a header, and it says about these scissors. And then under that, inside of the aside, we have these three sections, which have H groups with blades, handles, and color. And you see those are indented under about these scissors, blades, handles, and color. So we've got an accurate outline from this tool. So that's one way you can do this. Another way you can do this is using the tools at Google Code. And I've loaded that up actually in the Chrome browser because one of these that I want to show you is this Chrome extension, which actually works pretty well. So we're going to load that up. So this is at code.google.com/p/H50, and that's the letter O for HTML5 outliner. I'm going to click on Chrome extension here, and it loads up this Chrome extension page, and it gives me an opportunity. It describes it here, and it gives me an opportunity to add it to Chrome. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add to Chrome, and I'm going to give it permission, and it says Outliner has been added to Chrome. All right? So every time it sees a page now, it gives you this opportunity to outline it, if it can outline it. So for example, if I go to google.com, I'm going to open this in a separate tab. It has this little outliner thing, and there's not much there. It has account options. So that's not really a conforming page. It's going to give us very much information. If I try to open the scissors page from disk, we'll notice it opens it up, but it doesn't give us the opportunity to outline it. It doesn't seem to work on files from your hard disk. You have to actually open it from a web server. So I've gone ahead and I've loaded this up on a web server at html5.bw.org/ESST/chapter13. And here's our scissors page from there. And you see it's got the little outliner icon. And if I click on this, I get an outline. And there's our outline exactly as we saw it before. Now, there's a couple of cool differences here. One is you'll notice the untitled section, it says it's a nav, and that's kind of nice. And if I click on it, you see it highlights it and blinks it there on the page. If I click on scissors at the top, it blinks the entire page. If I click on the story of scissors, see it clicks on that, it actually scrolled to it and blinks it. If I click on about these scissors, it scrolls and it blinks the entire sidebar there. Of course, it scrolls it under itself. And if I click on blades, it wasn't doing all this scrolling before, and handles and color, you see it blinks those. Unfortunately, it scrolls them in a way that you can't see them. Of course, on most computers, you're going to have a lot more room than this, and you'll be able to open it up wider so that you can see the parts that you're clicking on. So that's pretty nice. That does a good job. And finally, if we come back here to this page, you'll notice that there's also this bookmarklet. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load that up in Firefox. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go back to Firefox and I'm going to open this up in a separate tab. And so here's that same page, a separate tab, and we have this bookmarklet. Now the way this works is you click on this and it brings you to a download page and you have a number of different choices. You've got an Opera extension, got the bookmarklet, you have some minified JavaScript that you can include in your own applications. It's a Firebug extension. It says it's very experimental. And there's an older version of the bookmarklet for Internet Explorer. The version I'm going to show you does not work in Internet Explorer, and there's some reasons why that doesn't work. In any event, the bookmarklet, if I click on this, I get this download page. And if I click on that, you notice that it gives me an opportunity to save it. That's because it has it set as a text file, not as an HTML file. in the content type. And so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. And I'm going to show in Finder, and there it is. And now when I come back here to Firefox, I can open this up. I can go to my home and I can go to my downloads, and there it is, outliner.html. And it gives me an opportunity to drag this link to my favorites bar, which I have closed here. So I'm going to, my bookmarks bar, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drag that there. And now when I open up the scissors page, and this is from the file on my desktop, I click on this and it gives me the outline. And again, it gives me the untitled nav, story of scissors. This is actually from the same source code that the Google Chrome extension is from. So it has the same type of an outline. Fortunately, it doesn't do the nice little blinking thing. It does scroll to them though. So here you have a number of different tools you can use for examining the outlines of your web pages. These tools are a good starting point for experimenting with the outlines of your pages. Take the time to experiment, try different structures. Understanding how HTML5 outlines work will go a long way toward creating well-structured HTML5 documents.